Hey guys, welcome to this video on the old DJI Spark. Now I know the Spark's been out for a while. I've had it since last year. Around about October I bought it for a trip to Hawaii, and I managed to get a little bit of footage from there, which I'm very happy with. I don't use it as often as I should, to be fair. I do go out and manage to get a bit of footage here and there. I think I used it a few weeks ago just to give the batteries a bit of a run. But I've been wanting to really put it through its paces and really start practicing my skills on it. You know, it's like anything else in life. We got to give the devices our due attention. So anyway, what I thought I'd do is I put a little bit of a video together just running through, and this is a beginner video for anybody maybe considering buying the Spark. Let me just say from the get-go, I love the old Spark. I would have liked to have got it up into the air in this video, but I might not be able to do that because, as you can see, it's a bit of a rainy old day out in Auckland. It's starting to clear up a little bit, so it's looking quite nice out there. So yeah, I'm sort of the actual Spark's out on the ledge just by the window over there, so that it can pick up the GPS better. So let's start with the old interface. Presumably you would have loaded the DJI Go app and you've successfully managed to configure all that. Let me know in the comments if you're having any difficulties with that, because I noticed on YouTube there has been some people having some trouble with getting the app to work. So a good place to start is with what it is you see on the screen. On the very top over there you got the GPS. And as you can see, it's got a little satellite icon with the number 13 next to it. So it's picking up 13 satellites at the moment, and the signal strength is quite strong. Just next to that indicates is the obstacle avoidance is on. And next to that is the old Wi-Fi signal with the battery currently sitting at 21%. Just below that is the bar giving the camera information, which I'll show you in a minute, how you can turn that on and off. And then just to the right of the battery icon is the 3 dots that allows us to get into our menu, which I'll also get to in a minute. Then moving down to the right side of the screen, you can flip between movie mode and camera mode. So you can tap that and ping, you getting going, or you can go back to the old video mode. Just below that is the camera settings, and that's the camera icon. You do have the option of putting a histogram on, and that does come in handy when you need to organize your white balance. So and there the low battery warning has come on, good, which is fantastic. And at the moment you can see, my suggestion would be to use the preset white balances. It does make a difference, rather than just keeping it on auto. And then I typically like to keep the grid lines on too. One little bit of an annoyance with the histogram is every time you go out of the app and come back into it again, you have to put it on again. So it is a little bit of an annoyance, but hey, such is life. So it's kind of good to use those. The other things are that you can get into your videos mode from there, and over there you can get to your actual camera settings. You've got a manual one, which it's in at the moment, with an ISO adjustment bar down there, and you can also set your shutter speed, and down at the bottom here you can see your exposure. So you can go into auto mode, which I don't suggest because your exposure will be all over the place. You do have the ability to I think it's double tap auto exposure locked, which can help the cause. So what else do I need to run through on the screen? You do have a map over here, and once we go into the settings you can flip between that map and the screen, which is very important. Make sure that it has locked in the home location, right, so that when it does return to home, it is returning to the home place. Warning, mobile device CPU full. I'll ignore that for the time being. Then this on the left over here, we our take off icon on the left here, I beg your pardon, I just had to replace the battery and also turn the screensaver off because it was on for the last minute while I was talking without me realizing. So yep, you got your takeoff icon over. Actually, I'm not going to click up there. I'm clicking on the screen now, so that's not going to work. Yep, and then once you're ready, you simply take off, which we will do in a few minutes. And then it's got these intelligent flight mode terms, which is very, very nice. You've got your normal mode, which we fly most of the time. Then you've got a series of quick shots that you can get into. Things like drone, helix, orbit, and so forth. And you've got active track, which also comes in very, very handy should you need to. We can't enter it in at this particular point in time. There is the gesture mode, which I must admit I don't use. I've used a couple of palm launches and a couple of palm landings, but over and above that, not a hell of a lot else. And then you will always see on the left the orientation of the drone, which way it's pointing to. You can see it on the map there as well. Then it gives you the current height you're at, how far the drone is away from you, what your speed you're doing. So that is very, very important that you're familiar with this interface. So when you're flying, you can quickly do things, because the battery usage does run up quite quickly with this little drone. It's only a tiny little battery. So let's just get into some of these general settings. The way you do that, you tap on the three little dots on the top there. On the very, very top one, you've got your main controller settings. Now, once you've got this preset, you don't really have to do a hell of a lot in there. Even though once you fire the drone up, it'll set the home point automatically. I've gotten into the habit of tapping this and doing the home point setting myself, just as a double up. All right. And I would suggest you do the same as a precaution. Calibrate map for mainland China with only that cache during video shooting. You can have that on or off. It's up to you. The maximum video cache capacity 2 GB. It's a good idea to clear the video cache after some time. And then that is pretty much it. Then you can change the measurement unit here if you like to imperial or metric, kilometers per hour, whatever your preference is. So go through this general settings. It is some of it's quite important. Then you can enable your visual obstacle avoidance, which I've got. Enable backward flying, that's handy. You get some beautiful shots doing that. Allow indoor away and follow. I don't use that at all. And then you've got your remote controller calibration, and it can't be calibrated at the moment. Then you've got your stick mode, which I don't change, it stays the same, and you can customize your function buttons, which I've also just left to what they are at the moment. I typically use all the buttons on the screen. Very rarely do I sort of when I'm have the controller in my hand, I mainly use the buttons on the screen on the iPhone. I need to get into the habit of using the buttons on the actual controller, because I'm sure they will make life a lot easier. Then you've got your Wi-Fi signal. Now, I don't use the Wi-Fi when I fly this. I put the Wi-Fi off and I use the actual cable, which I put a little screenshot in there. You can see that. I prefer having the thing hardwired from my phone into the controller. I find that has not given me any problems at all. Then you got some details on your battery, and you can set the low battery warning. It gives you your flight time, and it even gives you the details of how many times that battery was charged and so forth. And then you got your gimbal pitch speed. You want that to be not too fast, because you want it to be able to follow you nicely. So over here you have the ability to change that, and apparently between 1 and 5 is a good amount, so make sure you've adjusted that. And finally, what else is there? I think we've been through the general settings. We didn't go through this one properly. Yeah, you've got your return to home on the main controller settings. I must have tapped this by mistake previously. Make sure, like I said, we've got your home point settings organized. You've got a return to home at current altitude, right? So you have the option of putting that off, return to home altitude 30 meters. So what that means is it'll come to wherever your home point is and just hover at the 30-meter mark until you do otherwise. When I got this drone, I did put it in beginner mode. There's nothing wrong with that. Just sort of keeps things a lot safer for you while you're getting used to the device. And trust me, it does take a bit of getting used to. Everybody's excited when you get a drone, but do yourself a favor, go through this menu, watch the video, make sure you're crystal clear on the controls and all that. Go to a nice big open space like I'm going to show you in a minute or two, and then we can have a bit of fun playing around with it. So what else do we have here? Set maximum flight distance 200 meters, and obviously you've got your sensors and calibrate these things. I don't calibrate these until I'm prompted to do so by the device. They're quite sophisticated in that regard. So unless I feel that there's something significantly wrong, which you will know when you're busy with the controllers, otherwise just wait for the device to tell you when to calibrate. That's what I've sort of discovered. What else can I tell you on about this? That is pretty much it. On the camera settings one, you do have the option of formatting the card. I won't do that quite yet. Just have a look at some footage that we've got. I managed to take some beautiful photos, as you can see. Look at that, 1080p. Yes, it doesn't shoot in 4K, but to me, you know, 1080p is nothing short of spectacular. Look at that photo. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Do I have a little bit of video footage? I do. Uncaged videos will be directly through. There's the video footage. Look, I'm not the best drone pilot. I'm still practicing. Takes a lot of practice, you know, and that's when you want to use those intelligent modes, because it really gives you that cinematic movement. This is jerking a little bit because of the connection from the iPad to the computer too, I suppose. But look at that footage. Look at that. It's just nothing wrong with that at all. It's nothing short of spectacular, in my opinion. So look, we're going to go have a little bit of a play quickly while the weather is clear, and we can sort of just sort of see what the drone can do in terms of those intelligent auto modes. I really can't think of anything else that I should add. If there is something else, I will add it into this video. But look, let us go outside, let us go down to the park and have a bit of a play. Alright guys, I'm down at the park here. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm just going to be pretty much taking off now, making sure everything's alright, and then everything from here on I'll just be behind the camera recording, and we should be able to do a little bit of a sample video. Awesome guys. Now what I normally do is, the first thing is go to the main controller settings, go to the home point settings, and make sure the home point has been updated. As you can see, I'm doing a little screenshot, so hopefully that's
the home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Make sure your volume is nice and up too, so you can hear the lady clearly say that
the home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
So now you know the home point is updated. You can pretty much use the app to take off, which I really enjoy doing because it makes life a lot easier.
Take off. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Now please forgive me here guys, because I'm doing this alone. So all I'm going to be doing is doing a little bit of a pan using the left controller. Now I'm not in tripod mode at the moment, so it'll beep a little bit because it's a bit close to me, and that's the nice thing with these drones. So you can see, you can do a little pan, beautiful pan to the left. In fact, I'm going to hit the record button and just do a little pan to the left quickly. With practice, you can really get these smooth movements, but you're probably best just doing it in tripod mode, which I'm going to have a separate tutorial for. It's just going to be a lot easier. This one is just to give you an idea of what the drone can do. So that's sort of your rotation, if you like, and then you can venture to the right or venture to the left, right? And I'm just got to make sure that I am in frame here guys, if you give me a minute. I'm doing this alone, so it is a little challenging. Yep, I am in frame. Might help if I put my old spectacles on. I can't come closer because we're gonna have this beep then. So I'll just come up a little bit. Yep, that's fine. So very, very easy sort of movements. You just take your time, keep it gentle and slow. Make sure you sort of got open space around you. There's no trees or anything like that. And then you want to go up, you just hit the up button. So I'm going to hit the record button, which I've done already. And we're going to take the drone up a little bit. So we're out of shot now. And then once we're up there to a certain height, we can also do a nice pan around. Now you won't be able to see, I'll cut to the shot of the drone from here. And look how beautiful that looks. It's a beautiful winter's morning here in Auckland. And just look how absolutely stunning that is. I've got it currently set to auto mode, but we're going to do a separate tutorial on a manual mode. So I'm just going to bring it back down into frame again, just so that we keep our attention on the drone there. There you can see camera's facing forward, and if the camera is facing forward, that's your up button, that's down. Just be careful, sometimes if the camera is facing on you, then the reverse applies. Right is actually left and left is actually right. So just be careful of that, because obviously the camera is facing towards you, so everything is in opposite. So look guys, it's a little challenging doing this alone, operating my camera and sort of showing the drone. So I'm going to take it on a little bit of a spin around, and then all the other footage that I'll show you will be on the actual drone. Hi guys, so that was quite challenging, operating the camera, recording and doing the drone simultaneously, but anyway, we managed to get through it. The reality of the situation is it takes a lot of practice. The important thing is to make sure you go through the interface, make sure the drone is the home point's been recorded, and make sure you're comfortable with the settings, right? So that when you are in the air, you know what it is to do in a situation. Start off in an open place. I go down to the park. There are some trees around, but I know where the gaps are, and I'm sort of a little bit experienced using that Spark. So a couple of things that are sort of basic, some common sense around making sure your first flight is successful. Always sort of land, also take off and then land from a solid place where there's no grass or sand, because the props will kick up debris that could end up in the drone on the camera. So just a few things like that. It's a fickle little piece of equipment, so be gentle with it, make sure your batteries are charged, yada yada yada. So look, this is tutorial 1 of a series of tutorials I plan to do, more so for getting that cinematic look than it is to run through the do's and don'ts, which I will no doubt end up covering anyway. But I just thought, for my own purposes, because my footage, a lot of it, that intro at the beginning of this video, all those shots were taken with a Spark, but a lot of it is kind of jerky, so I want to get into using tripod mode more. I want to get into planning my shots a lot better and just becoming a lot more fluid with the drone, you know. So look, that's what this channel is all about. It's about photography, videography, flying drones, camera settings. I got a blog called Aperture to Zoom, which I'm trying to add some content to and unpack everything we need to know to make us better videographers. So if that sounds like you, I know the YouTube and the internet is full of stuff, but if this channel resonates with you and you're sort of a beginner like myself, then jump on this channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, share it, because I'm going to start going through quite a bit of content, and it's nice to get on board from the beginning, because like I said, I'm looking to grow a little bit of a community and collaborate with people who is in a similar place. We all got to start somewhere. You know, I'm very, very enthusiastic and passionate about this. My wife and I really enjoy traveling, so we're going to be doing quite a bit of traveling, all things being equal, and then I would like to really make these amazing travel videos, and who knows where it's going to end up. Could end up being in a change of career too. Anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to wrap it up there because I don't want to end up waffling too much. Please subscribe, please like I said, that's the value proposition for you guys. There's going to be tutorials, there's going to be reviews, there's going to be basically unboxing of things and just making sure we're doing things properly, easily and quickly. Thank you very, very much for your time, and we'll no doubt catch up in the next video. Over and out.